The government told the world that Dr. Ellie Arroway's trip through the wormhole never happened. They called it a multi-billion-dollar hallucination. But they ignored one terrifying piece of evidence: 18 hours of recorded static in a device that was only gone for a fraction of a second. Today, we're recapping Contact, the movie that proves the loneliest thing in the universe is being the only person who knows the truth. Imagine a screen of pure black. The silence is broken only by the crackle of radio static. Suddenly, we hear a broadcast from the 1990s, then the 80s, then the 70s. As we pull back from Earth, the sounds of human history play in reverse: music, news, moon landings, and Hitler's speeches, until the noise fades into a terrifying, hollow silence. We start with a young girl named Ellie Arroway, hunched over a ham radio in her bedroom. From the moment Ellie was old enough to understand curiosity, she was drawn to invisible things. As a child, she spent countless hours dismantling radios, rewiring old electronics, and pointing crude antennas toward the sky, convinced that somewhere out there, something might be listening. Her father, Ted, was the one person who truly understood her obsession. Patient and encouraging, he never dismissed her questions, no matter how strange they sounded. When Ellie grew frustrated after yet another failed attempt to contact someone through the radio, Ted reminded her that discovery was rarely immediate. Years passed, and Ellie carried those words with her into adulthood. She grew into a brilliant scientist, driven by the same curiosity that defined her childhood. Now working as part of the SETI program at the massive Arecibo Observatory, Ellie spent her days scanning deep space radio signals, listening patiently for anything that didn't belong. While others treated the job as routine data analysis, Ellie listened with intent, convinced that meaning could hide within the noise. One day she was joined by Kent, a blind astronomer who surprised her with his approach. Instead of reading screens, he listened closely to the sounds themselves, recognizing patterns others missed. He complimented Ellie for doing the same, for truly hearing the universe rather than just measuring it. Around this time, Ellie met Palmer Joss, a thoughtful writer researching the intersection of science and belief. Their first meeting was accidental, but their conversation quickly revealed sharp differences in worldview. Palmer questioned whether science alone could answer humanity's biggest questions, while Ellie insisted that evidence was the only honest path to truth. To the rest of the scientific community, Ellie is a joke. She is a dreamer who is wasting government grants on the off chance that an alien might say hello. Her primary antagonist is David Drumlin, the president's science advisor. Drumlin is the embodiment of the safe scientist. He only cares about results that can be sold to the public or the military. He eventually pulls the plug on Ellie's funding, mocking her for her pursuit of little green men. She isn't interested in God, she is interested in the truth. Just as her career is about to end, a mysterious benefactor enters the picture. S.R. Hadden, a reclusive billionaire who lives in the sky, literally in a private aircraft, funds her research.
We can search more accurately than at any other conventional facility. It's crazy. Thank you.
Ellie moves her team to the Very Large Array in New Mexico. For years, they listen to the static of the universe, and for years, they hear nothing, until the day the world changes. It starts as a rhythmic, pulsing thud. It is a signal coming from Vega, a star 26 light-years away. It isn't a pulsar or a natural phenomenon. It is prime numbers. It is intelligence. The sequence of 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and so on proves that whoever is on the other end understands the fundamental language of the universe. But as Ellie and her team decode the signal, they find something that chills the bones of every world leader, a hidden video stream.
Hello.
Hydrogen times pi. Told you. Okay, let's just calm down and pull up the star file.
Pick it up on my... Who are we gonna call now?
I want all these people out of here.
They unscramble the footage, expecting an alien face, but instead, they see Adolf Hitler at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. The room goes silent. The first television signal strong enough to leave our planet has been caught, recorded, and sent back to us as a cosmic mirror. It is a terrifying realization. Our first impression on the universe was our darkest hour. The discovery turns the VLA into a circus. The military, led by National Security Advisor Michael Kitts, moves in and tries to classify the project. The world is thrown into chaos. Religious cults gather at the gates, some claiming the aliens are gods, others claiming they are demons. Amidst the madness, Ellie discovers that there is a third layer to the signal. Hidden within the frames of the Hitler broadcast are 50,000 pages of encrypted data. It isn't a message, it's a blueprint. It is a machine. The world is faced with a choice. Do we build a device designed by a race we don't know, for a purpose we don't understand?
Mathematics is the only truly universal language, Senator.
He hardly lends for anyone.
You came to my attention. I've had a long time to make enemies, Doctor. I was a hell of an engineer. Pages and pages of data.
Those look like engineering schematics, almost like blueprints.
We know nothing of these creatures' values.
Turned out to be some kind of a transport.
Transport.
The decision is made to build it. A multinational effort begins at Cape Canaveral. The machine is a series of massive rotating rings that create a gravitational field in which a single passenger pod is dropped. The question then becomes, who represents humanity? Ellie is the obvious choice, but during the selection hearings, Palmer Joss asks her if she believes in God. Ellie, unable to lie for the sake of political gain, says no. The committee, fearing a public backlash if they send an atheist to meet the creators, chooses David Drumlin instead. Drumlin, the man who tried to kill the project, is now the one who will reap the rewards. But the universe, or perhaps human nature, has other plans. On the day of the launch, a religious extremist who has infiltrated the site as a technician detonates a suicide bomb. In a horrifying sequence, the machine is destroyed, and Drumlin is killed. Ellie watches her life's work go up in flames. She believes first contact is over. That is until Dr. Hadden calls her one last time. From his deathbed in a space station, he reveals that while the world was watching the Americans build a machine in Florida, a second machine was being built in secret in Hokkaido, Japan. Because Ellie was the runner-up, and the only person who truly understands the signal, she is chosen to go.
Traveled 26 light years to commit suicide.
The launch sequence in Japan is a masterclass in tension. As Ellie is strapped into the pod, she is terrified but resolute. She drops. But instead of falling into the water below, she is pulled into a wormhole. She travels through a tunnel of light and color, witnessing celestial phenomena that defy the laws of physics. She sees a star being born. She sees a city of light in the distance. She is overwhelmed, crying out that they should have sent a poet because the beauty is beyond her scientific vocabulary. She finally arrives on a beach. It is beautiful, ethereal, and strangely familiar. It looks exactly like a drawing of Pensacola she made as a child. A figure approaches her. It is her father. For a moment, she believes it is him, but she quickly realizes the truth. The alien entity has scanned her memories and taken the form of the person she loved most to make the contact easier for her.
We thought this might make things easier for you.
They speak, but not of technology or weapons. They speak of the loneliness of the universe and the bridges that different races build to find one another. The alien tells her that this was just a first step. Humanity has taken its place in the cosmic community, but there is a long way to go. Suddenly, Ellie is pulled back. She wakes up on the floor of the pod, which is sitting in a safety net under the rings. To the observers on the ground, the pod did nothing but fall straight through. They tell her the mission was a failure. She was only gone for a fraction of a second. The final act of the film is a brutal interrogation. The government, led by Kitts, believes the entire thing was a hoax designed by C.R. Hadden to fulfill a dying man's ego. Ellie is treated like a lunatic or a fraud. She is brought before a public inquiry where she is forced to admit she has no physical proof. No photos, no recordings, nothing but her memory. In a beautiful role reversal, she tells the committee that she cannot prove what happened, but she knows it was real. She asks them to take a leap of faith. The woman of science is now a woman of testimony.
You come to us with no evidence.
They said that's how it's been done for billions of years. The simplest explanation tends to be the right one.
After the hearing, a private conversation between government aides reveals a detail they kept from the public. While Ellie's video recorder showed only static, it recorded exactly 18 hours of it. This is the proof. She was gone for 18 hours in a world where only a second passed. The government buries the evidence, but Ellie is at peace. We see her at the end, back at the VLA, teaching a new generation of children. She looks at the sand in her hand, then at the stars, and we realize that the search was never about finding aliens. It was about finding our place in a universe that is no longer a waste of space. The beauty of contact isn't in the aliens, it's in the silence. The committee dismissed Ellie because she had zero physical proof, yet the audience knows the machine recorded 18 hours of static. But here's the real question that still divides fans 25 years later. If the aliens are so advanced, why did they choose to look like her father and meet on a fake beach? Was it an act of compassion to keep her sane, or was the message actually a cosmic test to see if humanity could believe in something they couldn't see? Did Ellie actually travel across the universe? Or was the whole thing an elaborate psychological experiment by the billionaire senior Hadden? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the signals of Vega, hit that subscribe button. We're decoding the most complex sci-fi endings every week. This is Falcon Recaps, and remember, if it's just us, it's an awful waste of space.
Seems like an awful waste of space.
I, for one, believe her.